So this is the BN6 1997 R33 that I've mentioned in the other videos. But today we're actually taking the Midnight Purple R33 over to my friend's shop to do some service work. Just change the oil, have him go through it as a full-time mechanic. Go through and check it out. So let's get to it. So some of you guys actually might be wondering, why do I have two R33s? So this story actually started back about 6-7 months ago when I started searching for an R33. 33 actually surprised me once I went down that rabbit hole, and I suggest anyone that's interested in any of the Skylines, especially the GTR Skylines, to go down that rabbit hole, kind of do some research, check out the cars, the differences, sizing, everything. There's a ton of great videos out there. I learned a lot from a lot of you. So that's when it actually started. I went down that rabbit hole, and I never really liked the R33, probably like many of you guys. But once I kind of found out about it and saw some in person, and just I fell in love with actually the rear, the hips themselves. I really like that. My preferences though is I really don't like the R33 in select colors. So some of the lighter base tone colors and stuff, you can actually see more of the body lines. The taillights just kind of stand out a little bit more to me. So once I said I was going to get one, either going to be a black, darker color basically. So I was going to do the blue, the black, the midnight purple. So what happened was I actually found one. So Top Rank actually suggested one to me in the UK. So that's where I got my BN6 from, and that was actually purchased early in January 2023, like the first couple of days of this year. I didn't get that car until actually May. But in that time, and even after I got my car, someone else reached out to me and said, "Hey, we have this Midnight Purple R33." I was like, I already got my car, not very interested. But he sent me the pictures, gave me the details, read up on it. It was a one-owner car, some of the stuff I've already kind of told you guys. And once I saw the pictures, I'm like, man, this thing's pretty clean. I said, you know what? I'm going to get this car with the intent to sell this, because it's really difficult to find a really clean car at the price that it was being offered at. And obviously, I had a little itch. I actually wanted to learn how to import cars, kind of do some of the paperwork, and just that experience was just very exciting for me. So this was the second car that I imported. The first R33 was the other one. So this is different, coming straight from Japan. They took care of everything on that side for me, and I needed to take care of everything on this side, which I'm already familiar with, all the taxes, the customs, the paperwork, fill out the power of attorney paperwork and all that stuff to get the car actually here, signed off on, released from port and all that stuff. But if you guys want to know more about that and how that whole process works, there's plenty of videos out there, or I can kind of tell you some of the other things. So basically, that's how I came across this R33. I really thought it was a good deal, and I didn't want to pass it up. I want the car to go to someone that's really going to appreciate it. This is a really, it's a blank canvas of a car. Now that I've gotten my hands into it, seen stuff, driving it, and it's a really clean car. The gears shift really well. The tachometer, it works. It goes all the way up to red line really good. It pulls strong, shifts good. Suspension feels solid, and the car looks really good now. It does need some stuff, and I've kind of pointed some of those out. It needs some trim, for anything that's an old car. It's a 1996. It needs window trim. Just needs some cleanup on some of the stuff. But this is a great car, and I think it's coming in at a price point underneath market on a lot of the Midnight Purple R33s. So follow me along today. I'm going to drive this over to my friend's shop. He's going to actually change the oil. Now I can change the oil, but I'm going to have him look at it. He's a professional mechanic for many years. So he's going to check, the consistency of it, what's in there. He's going to check fluids. He's going to do the, I think he's going to, I don't know what you call it, but he's going to load the AC system up. So a lot of that stuff, and he's just going to check it out. He's already put his eyes on the car when he was over at my place. And he's the one that pointed out, like, hey man, look, a lot of these bolts haven't been touched. The timing cover's never been off. The strut bar has never been off. So it's really a really clean car. I think the older gentleman who owned this took really good care of it. This car has a little bit more value because of that. Also has a lot more value because it's a Series 2. And then the Midnight Purple adds to it. So follow me along today, and thanks for watching this video. Hey guys, so we're driving over to a Japanese car service located in the center of town over in Chinatown, and I'm gonna have Hanair, who's the owner. He's gonna just go through stuff. He's a longtime mechanic friend of mine. He's gonna do an oil change on this car, just give it a good look underneath. He's already seen this when it was at our shop. He stopped by one day. It sucks that it's raining out, but it is what it is. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys this car actually driving. This car's already warmed up. The idle is like perfect. I'm stuck actually in traffic right now. It is raining. It sucks because we just cut and polished this car, but it's eventually going to see rain one day, and I'm sure it's seen it many times before. So yeah, I'm going to give it a little baby pull. The temp's still kind of warming up a little bit. So we hit a little bit of traffic. So that noise you hear is actually the stock, not the stock, but the actual intakes relieving all the pressure from the blow-off valves. So it has a stock blow-off valve system on here, and it recircs back to where the air intakes are. So since it has a conical style filter, you'll actually hear them quite well. Just do another little pull here. Just watch the tach. This thing's just nice and smooth. This car like shifts really well, it handles good, and that's kind of what the whole point of this video is, just to show you guys that. Kind of sucks that it's raining, but transmission is super crisp, but notchy, but not like gross feeling, you know? Alright, so guys, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but this is the tach itself, the Nismo cluster in this car, which is a pretty cool option. I'd say about 30% of them actually have this. There's the mileage on the car. You can see how smooth this thing actually idles. And it just drops back down and goes in place where it's supposed to be. One thing about these JDM cars, it's a TMU, so true mileage unknown, because it had a cluster in here before, and they didn't record stuff back in the 90s. Where people could just swap the cluster out and there's no kind of real record of it. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So true mileage unknown, but I do think this car is actually really, really low mileage. I do have the paperwork for this cluster and everything like that. And then you can see on the Japanese website, which is like the Japanese Carfax, what the actual mileage was. But you guys can just see that this thing just idles really well. With the stock exhaust, actually it sounds pretty healthy. You can see it going to boost a little bit here. So unfortunately it is raining here. We are stuck in traffic, but yeah. So guys, a lot of cars in Japan actually, well, the R33s more specific, and R32s, they actually relocate the AC unit into the glove box, or they mount it down by underneath the ashtray with special kits. So a lot of them do that so they can actually put like doubled in. This one comes with a special mini disc player, which is pretty awesome. But that's for the new owner to replace, man. You can just, you know, one of my cars, I have full LCD screen with backup camera and everything. So it's up to you guys. So guys, we've arrived. This is Japanese car service. I believe my friend's R33 is also here right now. He was getting a front diff serviced. So this is this place. So let's just back this thing. Let's pull this thing in right here. Make sure we don't hit our lip. Find out where they want this.